Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning into Intuitive Entrepreneurs. My name is Megan Monique,
And I'm Lori Lynn Hurley.
and we are excited to be here with you today. Today, we're going to be diving into the topic of how your intuition and entrepreneurship play in together. So, if you've been thinking about those things, or if you are a solopreneur, or even if you don't consider yourself an entrepreneur, but you have some side hustles, you've always had a hobby or something that you're out there marketing, this is where you want to be. So you can just be yourself and be in that entrepreneurial world and know that you are not alone as you navigate the ups and downs of that journey. We are here with you as you do that, for sure. So just to kick us off, Laurelyn, what comes up for you when you think about that? When you think about intuition and entrepreneurship and like where you are right now in this moment?
Yeah. I think it's just a personal passion of mine to constantly talk about the fact that everyone is intuitive, that everyone
Yeah.
has an intuitive voice. And we, through a variety of things that happen in our lives, some of us get taught or learn to separate our intuitive voice out from serious things like our business or, other parts of life, or
Yeah.
to just completely suppress it and just pretend like we don't know what intuition is and we don't have it. But everyone has it. And so I think for me, there's been a journey of understanding that my intuition is a valid voice and it's a valid way of knowing. It is a way that I know things, and it's not the only way I know things, but it is a way of knowing, and I can trust it,
Mhm.
even when I'm making decisions about serious things. But it's
Absolutely.
part of who I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking, because I do have clients that I work for that have groups, like they have large businesses. One has 100 members in it, and part of what I do for them is help manage that group of people. And there are structures that are put in place, like there are principles that you follow, and it is a community of entrepreneurs, so like you are learning very specific things about your client avatar and your customer journey, and there's processes for all of that. But then there are these moments too in the development of their businesses where I'm on one-on-one coaching calls with them, and they present like, I can go this way or I can go that way, and intuitively I can feel the different energy behind whatever it is that they're presenting. So it's like there is a time for structure and there is a time for plans, and
Mhm.
inside of the structures and plans you can still tap in to what feels good to you and like which way that you want to lean. So it does
Mhm.
feel like a dance between the two, and I do think that it's just incredibly hard when you're a solopreneur and you don't have a checkpoint or you don't have a sounding board. Even if it's just like your best friend in your life to be like, hey, does this sound great? Is this heading in the right direction? But if you're in your own headspace about it, it can be very paralyzing to just go back and forth around, well, all the experts are teaching this way, but
Yeah.
I'm intuitively feeling this way. And so I do think it's like a language that you have to learn within yourself about how to dance between those two in a way that feels good to you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I,
Without
and I,
driving yourself insane. Sorry.
yeah. But you said something about you feeling the energetic difference between two choices, and I think that's another thing. Like everything is energy, like everything has an energy signature, and I think we are feeling into the energetics of things all the time, sometimes not consciously.
Yeah.
That there sometimes there is that disconnect between logically, this is the thing that makes sense, but why am I feeling so much resistance against it? And why is my body sort of pulling me in the other direction? Because that energy feels, you know, I think that's
Yes.
something that you and I have
Yes.
experienced.
Yes, yes. And we've had so many different creative callings to be like, maybe
Yeah.
we should do this, maybe we should do that. Um, Like even just this summer, we sifted through like 5 different ideas of what we
Yeah,
want.
and that's part of the thing, right? Like just saying it out loud, like having someone that
Yes.
you can say it to and say, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And it's not even so much that, like, if I tell you an idea, that you're going to tell me whether or not it's a good idea. It's
Yes.
just the act of me telling you and you hearing
Absolutely.
me and having the conversation that helps find, you know, the footing.
Yeah, because there is something that happens when you remove that conversation from just being an internal thing to
Yes.
something that is outside of you. It's like almost like you can see it from a different vantage point when you say the words
Yeah.
out loud.
Yeah. And sometimes the opposite thing happens where someone will, you know, sort of pop up unexpectedly and say to you, like, you know, I think you're this, or I think you should do this, this, this. And then I'll get hooked into that and think,
Yeah,
okay, what do they see about this is how they see me. And so
yeah.
maybe I should start doing this and I can go really pretty far down the road planning on becoming that thing that they just told me I was and until I realize like I'm not feeling it. You're seeing it, but I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, you're like, I had fun going down that rabbit hole,
Yeah.
but there was an end to it. It wasn't sustainable in the long run.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, and I guess what I've noticed for me, because there's an endless happening of new ideas popping up or new possibilities coming up, or even if I'm like scrolling on social media and somebody else is doing something awesome and I can see myself doing some of those things.
Mhm.
um the there's a, I don't know what the quote or phrase is, but it comes to mind often, where it's like those creative inspired ideas are going to pop up for us all the time, and we
Mhm.
can grab it and say yes and like carry it forward, or it will move on and it will find the next person.
Right.
And so, like, some of those newer ideas where I'm like, ooh, I could do this or I could do this, I'll grab it, like you said, and go down the rabbit hole and hold on to it. But if it comes to an end and like there's no more energy for me to pick it back up and sustain it, I know like it's not for me.
Yeah.
But what does feel like it's for me is that there are some fundamental, like community for one, and I guess like I feel like I'm on repeat already, but I have to get comfortable being on repeat, is that that has never left me. That has been create the idea of creating community, and it's looked different ways at different times, has been a part of my knowing, my wanting, my being, my creative expression since 2008, 2009, and probably before that. But like that was like right, I graduated in 2005. So, you know, those few years afterwards, you're like, who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? And then some identity starts to present itself. And ever since then, there's times when I feel like I need to take a break from it, or I need to step out, or I'm shedding that skin or identity, but it always comes back. And to me, that's how I know that like I want to take this seriously. I want
Yeah.
to carry this further. I want to invest more time and consistency in whatever this is.
Right.
And here we are. Hello. Lovely. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up today's conversation?
I don't think so. I think, you know, this feels like good energy. So I'm glad to be here.
It does.
Yeah.
I hope if you're tuning in today that you found some inspiration in today's conversation. And if there's anything that stood out to you in particular, please do leave us a comment wherever you're watching this so that we can hear from you and know what's happening in your world. We will be back with another episode very soon, and make sure you subscribe wherever you're watching this. We're going to continue to create content for you, and we'll have more coming for you in the new year as well. But thank you for being here, Intuitive Entrepreneur, and we will see you soon.